All right, so we got 94. Okay, we built a custom stock cover, hold some ammo, cheek piece, cheek riser. Really happy with the way this came out. Now what we want to do is we want to build make a lever action wrap for this matching. Okay, we make quite a few of these. We sell through our partner, 5-Star Arm. We sell quite a few of these leather wrap kits. Okay, so what we wanted to do was we wanted to make one, show you what goes into making one, and you know, the materials, the craftsmanship, and the installation. Okay, so we've got this beautiful heavy grain American Cowhide leather here, okay, on the stock, and we have to match. Okay, so we are going to utilize that to. Okay, so the length is 3.5 inches. We make each and every one of these lever action wraps by hand. We make them one at a time. There's no assembly line work here. There's no underpaid workers, although I gotta say I'm a little underpaid, but anyway, just kidding. Yeah, so these are all made here in our shop, United States. Okay, so we've got the 3.5 inch piece. We just like to draw, or not draw a line, but scratch a line, nice straight line into the leather. This is where we are going to punch some holes. Okay, just clean up the back of that a little bit with a brush. We do this with every one we build and ship out. Make sure it's nice and clean when it comes to you. Okay, it's a beautiful piece of American Cowhide. This happens to be our medium in the color schemes. Okay, so if you're looking at the site, you're looking to buy this as opposed to making it yourself, which you can. That's one of the reasons why we're showing you the process. If you want to make it yourself, that's fine. And some people can choose to do that, you know, if they like to do this type of work. So here we go. Here's the piece. We're going to set that aside. We'll be right back. With the kit that 5-Star Armor does sell online, we include a set of instructions that we use. Okay, that we follow. We created this. This is basically what we do. Okay, this has the instructions for the lever action, the loop portion, and it also, if you opt to buy the or if you want to install the trigger portion, that's here too. Okay, so full instructions are included. What we do is we use all sorts of colors of the muslin thread. Okay, this is muslin. Okay, so this has got a wax coating, very heavy duty, strong, super long lasting. Okay, this no reason why this shouldn't last 30 or 40 years. Okay, so what we like to do is we like to match it up with the color that we're utilizing. Okay, this is just a sampling of the color thread. So if you order, or if you're building one of these yourself, you know, you might want to use black, or you know, some people like to have a lighter color. What we do is we like to have a similar color, like a matching color, and that's what we have here. See, this is very similar. Okay, so that's what we use, that's what we include, and yeah. other thing we do is we include, and we use here, a couple of good quality needles. Okay, we include, some people might ask, well, why do you need 2 needles? Okay, well, we include 2 needles because in order to do a proper baseball stitch, you need to have a needle at each end. Okay, so if that's the type of stitch you want to use, you need to have 2 needles. Okay, and in the package, in the kit, 2 needles are included. Okay, so we include enough muslin thread, way more than enough, plenty of, I should say, plenty of muslin thread to do your project. Okay, so, and not only to do it, but also give you a comfortable amount, just in case maybe you have an error. I don't know, anything's possible. Okay, so in the kit itself, what we use, instructions, the wrap itself, 2 needles, and the thread. Everything you need to successfully install your leather lever action wrap. There it is. Alright, so we found that we've gotten best results during these installs by utilizing a bench vise. Okay, we happen to be using the Tipton gun vise. All right, so this is a fantastic tool for all sorts of long arms. Okay, so particularly works well with rifles, and I use it all the time when I'm doing work on my lever actions. Or I've got a collection. I've been fortunate enough to be able to obtain a collection of lever action and bolt action, vintage and antique rifles. Okay, so I use this vise, this bench vise, all the time. I mean, it's like having, say, like having a third hand, but it's really like having a third and fourth hand. Okay, yeah, really not doing a review on this vise right now. I could, but I just want to let you know that it's a very helpful instrument, very easy to utilize. You know, it's awesome. Bottom line is, it's awesome. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and remount the camera and start with this installation. Okay, so to thread this, basically what you're going to do is you're going to run the thread through the eyelet. From there, you're going to thread it through the actual thread. What I like to do is bunch up the weave a little bit so you can hit the center of it a little bit easier. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, so you just go right through the center of that. You pull that through. And then you just tighten up on it. Just like so. Okay, so that's locked in. Now you do the same thing with the other side. Thread that through. Bunch it up. And it's just the way I do it. You don't have to do it this way. It's just the way I've found to be the easiest way to get a larger target, if you will, by widening up the thread. You just pull that in like that. You can trim off this excess later. Okay, so now you've got both sides threaded. And yeah, if you can see that, I'll raise up the camera a little bit. So you've got both sides threaded. You've got about 2 feet, 4 feet altogether of thread. Like I said, it's way more than enough product we ship. All right, it's nice to have extra, like I said. All right, so take your leather wrap, put it on the inside of the loop. Okay. Get the front basically firmed up to that spot where the where the loop starts. The separation from the loop, the lever loop from the trigger loop. Okay, right there, and find your first hole and just thread that through. Should be the first hole. It is. Okay. Now I'm doing this for the camera, so it's probably looking a little bit more difficult than it should be because I'm doing it kind of on a strange angle, so I can show you how this works. All right. Normally I would kind of be coming from the top, so it would be easier. I'm coming from the side just so I can show you, but that's okay. All right, so let's find that first hole on the other side. Okay, this is probably the most difficult part, especially the starting of it. You might want to have a set of needle nose pliers handy. What's nice about the muslin is that it's got a certain amount of ability to hold the leather in place. All right, so I just tied a knot there. That's just the way I do it. You don't have to do it that way. That way I know that this is not going anywhere at this point. Okay, it's nice and firm. Okay, so now at this point what you do is you just continue, come from the outside in. Okay. That's it. Just keep working your way along. Make sure that you always come from the outside. It's very easy to make a mistake, change your stitching pattern. It's very easy, believe me, to all of a sudden come from the inside because you're right here. Make sure you don't do that. You always want to, not that you couldn't back out of it, but you want to make sure you come from the outside in, outside in. I think you could see it. So yeah, so we'll continue down, and so not to make this video too awfully boring, we're gonna just speed it up. Yeah, so just keep working your way around. You're getting down to the end here now, so you're going around the curve. Okay. What you want to do at this point is you just want to loop this back through like we did at the beginning. Get it completely through. Be very careful. There we go. Alright, so now that we got both sides through, we're going to pull that together. See that tighten right up there. Okay. Now we're going to tie a knot in it. Okay, this is the way I do it. Okay, you could do it the way you want to do it. At this point, what I do is I trim the excess, some of the excess off. I leave a little bit of length. Okay. And then I like to tuck this in, the excess in. Okay. So to tuck in the ends, I've got this little tool. It's actually one of our, well, it's one of 5-Star Armor's tools. Okay, but it's customized. This is the tool, the frame tool to take out the pins, but flatten it almost like a small screwdriver. Okay, so a little customization. But I like to use this flat just to tuck in the thread on the end. I mean, you can use whatever you feel comfortable using. This is what I like to use. You could use a small flathead screwdriver. You could use this, all sorts of things you can use. But basically whatever you feel comfortable with. What I like to do at this point too is just hit this with a little bit of heat, okay? Because that thread is muslin. It's coated with a wax. And it's also got a nylon component in it, okay? So it will shrink, it'll bind, you know. I just like to do that. I think it's strengthens it to a certain extent, tightens it up to a certain extent, gets rid of any frayed ends, so on and so forth. So that's it. I mean, look at that. And if you did opt to do the front, the trigger area, there's plenty of thread left over for that. Okay, you got about half left, so you got plenty. So that's it. We're not going to do that. I like the way it looks without it. That's just personal preference. Okay, we do offer it, but I like it just like that. Oh, look at that. Huh. That's a thing of beauty. Gotta be honest with you. That is a thing of beauty. Alright, so we're done. Not for nothing, but whether you're a collector, a hunter, whatever the case may be, yeah, you're looking for a little small project, something that'll take you maybe, I don't know, if you really take your time with this, it will take you about 20 minutes. You know, you could go even a step further. You could burnish the edges on this. You could take a little beeswax, you know, and burnish that, darken it. I don't know, maybe you want to age this a little bit. You could take it to the next level. You know, it's up to you. I love the way that looks because we've got matching leather. So listen, if you want to do a nice quick upgrade on your lever action, that's the way to go. It really looks great. Not for nothing, but it also protects your fingers. I could do this all day long, okay, and it wouldn't bother my hand at all, okay? My knuckles, my fingers, nothing, okay? Really feels good, looks good. You know, it's quality materials. You could pick your stitch pattern. We happen to use like a baseball stitch. Okay, yeah. This is a model 1894. This happens to be a Interarms. Beautiful, beautiful firearm. I wanted to make it look like it was actually used quite a bit, so I used a technique that we do here to kind of age it. I rubbed it in areas that would typically see wear, like saddle wear and stuff like that. You know, loading wear, you know, where the cartridges go in. You know, I also took the polish, or took the varnish, I guess it probably is from the factory, off the wood. Okay, so that really made it look a lot more authentic. I did a lot of wear, rub wear on the barrel. You know, everywhere where it probably would have gotten the saddle wear and use wear. I looked up a lot of older rifles on the internet to see the wear patterns, to try to make it look somewhat authentic. We also worked the action on this. We took the whole thing apart, polished down, took quite a bit of material off the hammer. Okay, if you look at a factory hammer, you'll see it comes to a sharp edge. Okay, and it causes a lot of undue restriction to the flow of the action. Okay, so we've got that set up perfectly. This thing's like butter. You know, we polished the port. Didn't really take any material off the port, loading port, but we polished that out. We cleaned up all the burrs, all of the snag points on the entire rifle. Okay, so in and out of the saddle, you know, in and out of the case, the saddle, whatever, however you're using it, this thing will not snag. Okay, all the sharp edges been taken down, including on the wood. A lot of overlap and a lot of, yeah. Rossi's a great gun, but you know, like a lot of other mass production units, they need to be fine-tuned. Okay, love the sound of that action. And you, with this wrap, you won't get any undue wear and tear on your hands. Let me tell you, at times I've lost the skin on those hands, but not anymore. Ooh, we also shaved down the tops of the lock, because they were really protruding quite a bit. Look at that. We shaved them down, rounded them nicely, smoothed them, polished them. Ooh, looks good. Nice and smooth. Alright, well, that's it for now. Have a great day. Be safe out there, and we'll see you on the next one. Really appreciate you watching our videos, checking out our channel. You know, so we sell these through our 5-Star Armor eBay store for $12.95. It's I think a great value, because to be frank with you, to put together all the materials yourself would probably cost you more. You know, by the time you buy the leather, the thread, I mean, you can't buy small pieces of this stuff. You got to buy a whole spool. You got to buy a big piece of leather, you know. So, you know, the needles, you know, and so on and so forth. We put the whole package together for you. You know, and we also made this video to see if we can help you out there, you know, make the installation a little bit simpler for you. Okay, so that's it. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you got anything out of it, we'd appreciate it if you would subscribe to our channel. And if you have any questions or comments, please post them, and we will get back to you right away.